person. We're just lamenting. I don't think we've talked in real life. Actually, maybe we have. And I'm sorry if we have. Do you remember any specific instance? Because these things are so chaotic.
I know. These are a mess. I know that we're the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
I cannot recall if a conversation that we had or any of the conversations we've ever had have been in person or online, which I feel like is a technological problem for me.
Well, it's like, I don't know if you've ever had these where you get asked like, oh, hey, you know so-and-so, but you're like, not really. We did like a 15-minute conversation. I blacked out the whole time.
Yeah.
That was my first Charlie Kirk episode. I was like,
Really?
They were like, what's Charlie like? And I'm like, I don't remember anything.
You're like, I don't know.
Have you had those?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Well, and I'm a big I'd say fan. I don't know. I'm a frequenter of the. I know that we follow each other on Instagram. Kind of whole thing where you're like, I know that these we follow each other. We do not know one another. If someone asked me what is this person's favorite color, no idea.
Yeah.
Haven't met in person. But we follow each other. So
Well, it's
there's
weird.
that.
Do you introduce yourself still to people? This is so far not even what I was thinking of talking about. But like, I'm thinking, I did an episode of Candace Owens' show, and Jack Posobiec and Benny Johnson were both on it. I'm like brand new at this point. Not brand new, but like I'm a year in. Like that's the biggest thing I've ever done. I'd never actually met those guys in person. But then
Interesting.
Jack walks in, sees me and goes, hey man, good to see you. I'm like, we've never met. Benny does the exact same thing. And I'm like, oh,
Funny.
This is how this is. Like you don't,
I have a theory that is just a thing because it's the same way in the music industry. Like there's this kind of this unspoken thing, and I kind of feel like with Nashville getting bigger, it's honestly dropped off a little bit. Like decorum is decreasing in interpersonal.
Expand on that. I'm very curious about that.
Well, it used to be that in order to make people feel like not weird or not bad, or maybe they remembered meeting you but you don't remember meeting them, or just kind of a thing, everyone in Nashville says, hey, nice to see you.
Yes.
And so, and I find it approachable. I think it's okay. It's also the time that I grew up in Nashville, so it makes sense to me. I introduce myself to everyone because
you never know.
Probably to out of fault, because someone will, sometimes will be like, oh, we've already met. I'm like, I know, but I just didn't assume that. I'd probably do it to a fault.
Yeah.
But the decorum thing, I feel a little bit in Nashville, especially as the town has grown bigger. We've gotten more, no offense, California and New York, but we're getting California and New Yorkers in here. And I love New Yorkers, obviously, but like we're getting the coasts that maybe like aren't participants in the political movement. They didn't get fed up with the political culture and leave. They just got fed up with taxes and left. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and I'm not just pinning it on them. It's kind of a, I'm a little bit of an old man on my porch shaking my fist going like kids these days too, where everything that used to be, I call people Miss So-and-so, at least they're by their first name, Mrs. So-and-so. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I mean, it's pretty basic.
That's
but
how I was
grew
raised,
up.
but my wife was not.
Oh,
so
interesting.
she called her friends' parents by their first name, and I'm like, no. Like, no, when we first started dating, I would call her parents Mr. and Mrs. Orbono, their last name, and they got mad at me. It was like a whole thing. But yeah, it's an interesting cultural shift. But Nashville's like, the South in general is usually pretty proper, and you're saying it's going away. Well,
I'm sure the South is proper. Like when I go home to Arkansas, it definitely is. Nashville, you walk around and there's not really country music playing anymore. Like I know it sounds weird, and some person's probably going to be like, yes, there is, but ultimately you go into stores, it's pop. In the bars, they're playing pop rock and sometimes like a little George Strait if you really want it.
I was going to say, are you a country purist though? Because I know there's guys like Dusty Slay, I've heard talk about this extensively. It's like the Post Malone album isn't country. And he's like, so is that what you're saying? Or is
no, that's honestly, I would accept that.
Okay.
I think that Post Malone did a good job of coming into Nashville lightly, walking softly, not breaking anything, going, I like your culture, I want to raise my kid like this is a better community, I want to learn your ways, collaborate with your artists, as opposed to and pulling into Cancellation Station with some of this, but as opposed to Beyonce, who just came in, did collaborations with artists that she really wanted to, whether
I'm
they
country.
were in, like out of spite. You can't be country out of spite. You know, country is a sound, it's instruments, it's a value set. You know, it's a lot of things. It's storytelling in songs, but some of the things that actually went on that album and the way that she. You know, she might have had Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton on the album as collaborators, but they were doing spoken word. They didn't do a song together. And I think Dolly even said, and Dolly never says anything. I don't want to misquote this because I saw this very recently, but I think I saw that she even was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know how it was going to end up. It was different than I thought, but art's art and it's great. For Dolly to say something.
That's the bless your heart of Dolly Parton.
It is. And she was the last person to ever win a country music Grammy. You know, they just split off the award after she won it into contemporary country and classic country.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is so random, but I remember Dolly Parton's husband passed away recently.
He did.
Which is crazy because nobody knew anything about that relationship, right? It was like she kept it so under, and she was like, you know, a sex symbol in a lot of ways for a very long time.
Yeah.
And was married the whole time.
It's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
I think it's something you could only get away with in that day and age. And I'm not really, other than being private, I'm not really sure why that choice was made. Like, I guess the reputation is that he did not like the spotlight. And if she was respecting his wishes, I totally understand. It's not easy.
Yeah.
In some ways, but I don't know how they did it for that long. And then now there's like one picture of him when he was 30. It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of relationships, I know randomly scrolling through my Instagram or Facebook, I don't know, whatever I was scrolling through, seeing Kash Patel getting sworn in, like, Alexis. How long have you guys been dating before that? Because I had no idea. Maybe I was just completely aloof.
No, it's funny because we've actually at this point been together over 2.5 years. So 6 months ago, that was almost exactly our 2 years, 2 years and a month. So it's funny because
were you like, did people know? I had no idea. Am I just under? Am I like
no? A
living
lot of
under a
people
rock?
had that reaction, and I think it was just the scale of how like not even not public, but just we'd post things together. But he also he has Instagram now, but it's his FBI Instagram, but he doesn't have it on his phone. Like he's not running it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so he never had socials before any of this. And so I think it was partially that I wasn't going, okay, here's a photo of us. Let me post this. Let me tag you. Like that culture in our relationship just didn't really exist. But I'd post things, but it just wasn't the sense of, oh, like she posted this, she tagged him. So I think people were just the level of kind of vastness that it was took people by surprise.
What's the dynamic like? Because I have friends, right, working in this industry, you have friends who then go on to now they're working in the White House and they're doing like all these cool things. I can't, and the dynamic is different. It's not necessarily better or worse, it's just different. And that's
than when like they started dating?
No, sorry, not even dating. Like I have like friends who are in the talking industry and they're now in the governing industry.
Got it.
And there's a difference now.
Yeah.
These are just my friends and it's a difference. What's it like dating somebody who is like, all right, you know, I'm a talker, not among other things, but that's kind of the primary job. And now, boom, top guy.
You know, it's interesting because he has always been passionate about national security, passionate about justice, passionate about truth. And so none of these things translating into a job, whatever that job may have been, were surprising. Now, was it on my bingo card when we started dating 2.5 years ago? No, it wasn't. But it's been an interesting transition of life for sure. A lot of things are different, and you don't really know how different until you go into it, and you're like, wow, life is so different. But no, it's honestly you forget a little bit the scope of what they're doing, and honestly just the fact that they get to do something that's just they were made to do, and frankly so good at. And so I think it's this makes more sense to me, or not even more sense, but it makes a lot of sense with his personality. Yeah.
Just built for it.
Yeah, he's just built for it.
What every my wife can go through a laundry list of things that I do that are like, you forgot to flush the toilet. I shouldn't have started with that one. But sometimes
I
I
love
do
that we're
that.
starting with that
What
one.
does he do that you're just like drives you bold? Like leaves shaving in the sink, doesn't put the toilet seat down.
You know what's hilarious? He's the cleanest person I've ever met.
So you're the problem.
I must be. Like, I must be the problem. He must be complaining about me somewhere because I have zero complaints. And I'm not even kidding. I have zero complaints. He is so organized. He is so clean. I have long dark hair, so I'm the one, like, making sure that I'm not, like, shedding dark hair everywhere. Like, it's really, I must be the issue because I don't experience issues.
Interesting. What's next for you in like the art space, music-wise?
Yeah.
Album coming, single. What's? I feel like I see you doing national anthems everywhere.
It's been a heavy national anthem bout, which has been amazing. It's always an honor. I'm excited to continue to do that, and also excited to very soon get back in the studio, like within the next month, get back in the studio, record more music, and ultimately, like post-election, I don't want to say back into that world, but we all had a mission. We all went on that mission. We're all kind of in our spots now. I am getting back into my show, Between the Headlines, where I stream on Rumble and Twitter. The news in 15 minutes or less was kind of my thing. I stopped it over the kind of January, February period because it was insane. And so now I'm coming back into that, putting out music and just doing really everything I was doing before and finally getting to breathe a little bit, honestly. The exhale is just now happening. And granted, with the internet, can you ever really exhale? No. But we're working on it.
That's fun. I'm excited. I want I say talking people, just in generic terms of people who are outspoken about things, to start doing more art, because I'm sitting on a bunch of music that I just feel weird putting out. Like,
why?
I don't know.
I say why. I understand.
No,
like,
but
I don't know why. I'm like, why? I get it.
I didn't like really anticipate any of this. This was not planned. Like, I wasn't like planning to do a TV show with Turning Point. I said that as it's a bad thing. No, it's a great thing. But also, like, I feel like there's limitations on what you can do in a normal context, right?
I get
like,
that.
I don't know, if I put out a EDM country hip hop song, like, people would be like, what? Like, it's already kind of weird doing stand up.
I do get that. I get what you're saying. I was really fortunate. I joke that all of this is an accident too, but I include music in that as well because I just kept doing it, and then it kept happening, and then it kept happening to me, and things got scheduled, and I was like, oh, okay, well, now I'm on tour, I guess, and I can't quit until next May when I do my latest tour date that's on the books.
Might add a bunch
now we have more.
Yeah.
So that's all an accident. All the political commentary is an accident. I couldn't shut up anymore, and labels and agencies and various entities were asking me to sacrifice my beliefs. So I was thinking, well, I'm not going to do that. So I might as well just help with the things I actually believe in.
Gotcha.
Educate the youth on history and on how to not sacrifice their own values, how to not write papers in college that they disagree with, because so many kids I was meeting with were, kind of freaking out. And so all of it's been kind of an accident, but I was doing both kind of organically to where the audience was already familiar with the fact that I did music. If people decide to be mean, it's generally the first thing that they're mean about. Like, they could have never listened to my music, and they make fun of the fact that I sing music, which is not my problem, and really not my concern at all. But it's something that people pick on. But I think ultimately, if you have art that you like and you like doing, this is a heavy enough category of things sometimes, the way that politics stack up.
Right.
Having an outlet that if no one else, it makes you happy, then I think it should be completely acceptable to release art.
Dang it, that's a fairly compelling argument to just do it, and I don't know if I want to.
You should. Petition for you to just drop your music.
Nah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
He's like, this isn't airing.
Alexis, thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking time.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Appreciate it.
Stay safe. Don't get in trouble this weekend.